The mystery machine is parked out here in front of one of our clients' homes, and it's no mystery what that means. The cabinets are getting painted today. Let's go inside and take a look and see how this kitchen renovation's coming along. Here we go. Welcome to the party. Come on in. Let's go see what's happening here in the kitchen. We are having a phenomenal time getting things done, and you can already see the transformation that's taking place. Of course, you remember from the prior videos, we had our countertops put in, the tile backsplash going in, and today we have a phenomenal crew in here working with us, helping us out, getting these cabinets painted, and they are going to look gorgeous when they are done. So when we talk about kitchen renovations, there's lots of different ways to approach this. You can do a total gut, total rip out and start over with brand new cabinetry, completely change the shape, style, design of everything, go from one style to shaker style to there's 18 different types of doors you can put on the fronts of cabinets. You can just go with refacing, where we just take the doors off and find new ones and put them on. That can be challenging depending on who we're working with and what size cabinets we are and whether we can get things made the way we need. We can go to certain craftsmen and have things very custom built. You can also get away with sometimes simple painting, and we have 2 or 3 different painters that we work with. Each has their own specialty, their own niche of the type of finish that you're going to get, how that cabinet is going to look when it's completed, and depending on what finish you're going for is going to determine which one of these partners we bring in to work with us on the project in your home. So I want to introduce you to Daphne from Designs by Daphne, and she has a phenomenal system that she has put together. And this didn't start with just showing up and painting. We started 2 or 3 months ago now, working on colors and starting to figure out what we're going to do. Were we changing hardware? Were we changing hinges? So Daphne, walk us through this process when a client says, yeah, I want to overhaul my kitchen. No, I don't think I want to replace my cabinets, and we're going to look at the painting end of things, the refinishing end of things. Where does that process start? What are some of the first questions we have to start asking?
Number one question I'll ask is what type of finish you want. I work with a very specific finish. It's called chalk paint. It is meant to have imperfections, and it's meant to have distressing. What distressing means is anything on your hard edge, it's going to knock off, and it's going to naturally do that over time. If you don't want that look, then phase me out, because that's what I specialize in. After that, after we establish, like, yes, you do like that finish, we can talk about how to take care of it and all of those different things. But really what it comes down to is, can we do it on your cabinets, and what is going to all be involved in it. With this set, these were oak, they're dated, they're old, but they don't have to be discarded because they still have a lot of life left in them. They needed new hinges. The hinges were starting to wear and tired, so we were able to do that.
Doors were getting a little cockamamie and hard to get aligned.
Exactly, especially these 2 doors. Wait until we straighten them when you see the before and after. And little things like we can do new drawer slides, and we can change the configuration of the hardware on here now that we're painting too. So this is a good example. On this particular door, this is a 3-inch on center drill hole. We're gonna reuse that one, but all on the top doors over here, we're gonna change it out, and we're gonna go to a 5-inch on center. So it gives it a little more drama, and I have one over here now. So we've already filled the top hole, and we're gonna use the existing and then go up, and it's just gonna give it a nice modern, newer look.
And because we are painting, it gives us the option to fill that hole, cover it up, and then we can change out the hardware and come up with something that's a different style, whether you wanted to go from a handle to a single pull, or whether you're going to a different size pull. It just gives us choices.
Exactly. Your client started with inspiration from a little chip color. It's called Boulder, and we can pretty much mix any color from 𝗷𝘂𝘀𝘁 and like anything. You give me the sample, I can mix it. So she had this, and I looked at it, and I took out my color wheel from 𝗗𝘂𝘀𝘁, which is the chalk paint company that we use. And I'm like, oh, I think it's linen and graphite. So you see we have linen and graphite, and we mixed it to a different ratio, came up with her color, and here we go.
And it sort of gave us the color palette, because then if we were looking at those other choices, okay, well, what color is the backsplash going to be? What color is the grout for the backsplash going to be? And starting to pick some of her wall color paint that she's starting to get on different places. You can see the old green that is going away, and now these other colors that we're bringing in. So it's all sort of coordinating together, and this all started in the very beginning during that first on-site consultation visit. We wanted to go through and make sure that all the different pieces, what we were going to be providing, what Daphne was going to be bringing to the table, that all those pieces flowed together when it was all said and done. So let's talk about the prep side of this, because on one hand it's like, oh, anybody can paint cabinets. Yeah, but have you ever looked at how much stuff is actually on those doors? Daphne, what goes into getting off all of the old, for lack of a better word, gunk, but you've got the old finish, you've got the old residue, you've got the grease from cooking, you've got Scotch tape from the kids putting their school projects on there. What does it really take to get the old finish off and ready to receive the new paint?
So number one thing, you have to use the right cleaning products. We use 𝗓𝘁'𝘀 with TSP and deglosser in it. The TSP is what's going to help break everything down. The deglosser takes off that old varnish finish, so we want it to be very acceptable for the paint. If you look at this door, we've started prepping. You see it's been sanded and it's ready for our paint. We're still filling a couple holes. You know, really, it's taking the time to clean them properly.
But before you sanded it, that tool in your hand, yeah. This is the part that I'm just like, no.
So this is our favorite, taking the putty knife. So but this one's already been done, but a lot of times, especially where the hardware is, you have a darkened area, and some people don't realize that it's all the hand oils from touching and grabbing and flicking. When we put that 𝗓𝘁'𝘀 deglosser on it, you'll see it start to kind of get gummy. So we take our putty knife and we're able to just kind of roll it right off. And if you were to see that and picture that, you'd be like, oh,
just imagine this thing curling off as it just the goo.
Yeah. And it happens on just about every cabinet. So it doesn't matter how clean you are, it's going to happen. It's because we're putting that cleaner on it to prep it for the paint.
And so if you go and you check out any of these products and read the instructions for what it takes to put them on, don't underestimate what is involved in that prep. And that's really why we like to have a team that specializes, that we bring in to handle this phase of the project, because they do it all day, every day. And it's something that really is a specialty to get these doors down to the bare wood such that it's ready to receive the chalk paint.
Not necessarily with our product. We don't have to go down to the bare wood. We want to go down to a surface that's going to allow that paint to adhere.
Right.
So you could have a cherry cabinet that has that higher gloss finish. We need to make sure that we're sanding that and prepping it to allow the chalk paint to sit on it. Sometimes we have to use shellac to seal. There's a thing called bleed through, and a lot of people don't know about it. The tannins in an oak cabinet will expel that, and sometimes you'll get like a red mark in your white paint. You're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? And you sand it away and you try to paint over and it keeps coming back. Well, we know that that's what's happening, and we seal it and fix it, and we're able to move on and go forward.
Like anything in construction, there's a lot of variables that go into the project, and if you're not familiar with it because you're not doing it on a regular basis, there's this little gotchas that can sneak up on you and really cause a problem in trying to get these finished. So you've got you took the doors off. It looks like you painted one style here on each side to put the hinges back on, and then what happens?
So the reason why we do that is because we want to be able to paint both sides at the same time. We don't want any of that extra buildup. Any of the extra buildup we would have to sand off, and it creates more of a mess. So we try to keep it really neat and clean. When they're hanging, you're able to flip it from one side to the other, not have all that buildup.
So that makes the application going a lot prettier, a lot smoother.
And it dries quicker, and we can leave the doors here. We don't have to take them away to a shop.
Which also helps to expedite things. And you're going to finish this project in 4 days, maybe 5?
Yeah, definitely 4 days.
Right.
I wouldn't exceed that with this one.
So they started on Monday. By Thursday, you guys will be wrapping up. If we had to take these out to a shop somewhere,
You'd be without them for weeks.
Yeah, it'd be a long time getting things back. So now when this chalkboard is finished, it's still, you were showing me, it's a matte finish. You can actually, leave a little bit of a scratch mark on that. So that's not the finished product. What happens after paint?
So after this, then we're going to lightly sand everything. And sometimes people don't really want our distressed finish. On the hard edges, it would naturally want to knock off. So we'll take and we'll knock this off with our sandpaper. And I actually can show you that. We have to repaint this door anyway, so we can knock this off.
And that already just dramatically changes what that door looks like.
And what I like to say, this is our Chester County finish. It's so pretty. It looks beautiful on cherry, on the oak. Some people don't like it, but we have to make them aware that it's naturally going to want to distress over time. And maybe not as much as what I've done here. It might just knock off on the end or at the hardware. We do leave a care kit so that they can touch it up if they want to.
So that's a gorgeous example of what it can look like once that distressing process has been completed. Now, Daphne, what do you do after the distressing is done to seal these, to finish them off?
Well, we're going to use a clear wax, and everything is still hand done. We're going to use a wax brush, wax it on, and then we take buffing cloths and buff it off. It leaves pretty much like an eggshell to a satin, sometimes semi-gloss finish, just depends on how much we buff it. Never any glossier than that.
And so that is one way that you can have your kitchen cabinets redone. If you're looking for that matte chalk look, this is one of the partners that we're going to use to help accomplish that. If you're looking for a high gloss kitchen finish, Daphne's not the person we're going to. We have other team members that we work with to bring that sort of look to a kitchen. So it really depends on what it is that you're looking for as you refinish your space to determine which one of our partners we're going to bring in to bear on your project. Now, kitchens is not the only thing that Daphne does. You have some other aspects to your business that you really enjoy. Tell us about some of those other pieces that you like getting into.
That's correct. So we really specialize in redesign. We're not that interior designer that's going to take your hand and go to the marketplaces and pick all of the materials for you. In a consultation with me, I would like to see you actually like. You can come to me with a tile that you've picked out and you're like, I love this tile. How can I make this, incorporate it into my home and make it look right? I can help you with that. If you have old furniture, say grandma just left you her ugly secretary desk and you're like, what am I gonna do with this? I wanna keep it, but it doesn't fit in my home. We can recreate it, we can paint it, we can take some of the frou-frou off of it and rethink it and make it yours. And that's exactly what grandma would want you to do anyway. They're not going to want you to leave it just like theirs most of the time. They'd want you to use it and love it just like they did. We also do window treatments. That's a huge staple for me. If you're looking for faux wood blinds, custom Roman shades, panels, curtains, we can help you with that too. I have a company that I work with called Carroll Fabrics. We also work with Worldwide Window Manufacturer out in Philadelphia. They are Hunter Douglas quality blinds, just not stamped with it. And I love that. I've been working with them since I've started my business, and I've been in business almost 15 years.
So lots of different ways. When we say interior design, we have a couple of different people that we work with, and depending on what it is that you're looking for, we're going to try to help connect you with the right person. So reach out to our office, send us pictures of what's going on. We're going to include some links to Daphne's social media down in the description of this video down below, and we can't wait to bring you the after of this project when it's all done. The ladies still have a fair amount of work to do to finish getting the paint coat on these cabinets, and a couple other things we'll finish off with the door hinges and the hardware and the different pieces to get all that together, and then sealing this, and in another day or two this is going to be finished and complete and absolutely beautiful. And we can't wait to bring you the after video, but that will be on the next installment of Forever Home. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into these projects and figuring out exactly how to do them in such a way that they're going to come out looking correct when they're finished. So if you've got a problem that we can solve for you, take a picture to it, send it to us right here on our Facebook page. Click that Contact Us button there at the top of the page. Send us those pictures along with your contact details, and our team will be happy to assist you. Remember, we're finished with it. You're proud to say it's not just done. It was coat built. We'll catch you in the next edition of Forever Home. Bye for now.